Hello, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live, and this week's run of Christmas-related chamber music concerts of all kinds. We have early music, Christmas music, we have Celtic Christmas music, Irish Christmas music, and choral Christmas music, and just Christmas music. So let me get right to them. We have 5 or 6 live streams that we want to tell you about. And curiously enough, about a half an hour ago or 45 minutes ago, we did a live stream about non-Christmas music. For those of you who are thinking, bah, humbug, I just want some chamber music, we gave you a roundup of those live streams. There's so much going on that there's a full roundup of both Christmas and non-Christmas chamber music live streams this week. But anyway, almost all of those are free of charge. And curiously enough, when it comes to spreading Christmas cheer, almost all of the live streams I'm about to talk to you about are going to cost you something. But they're very interesting groups like Helicon, the Gothard systems, the Harmonia Orchestra and Chorale, the Les Bergers, which means the shepherds, although they're an American group. The Seattle Girls Choir, you can see them all in the picture next to me. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook or on X or on LinkedIn, but you can't see the pictures if you're on Instagram. So sorry about that, but it just doesn't integrate well with the other platforms. So let's get right to what we have for you this week in terms of chamber music on a Christmas theme. As soon as I can find my notes, which unfortunately seem to have disappeared. Now we're back, and the notes are there. Skål. I'm drinking, this is called Julmust. It's what you drink at Christmas time in Sweden. And you eat these little pepperkakor. These are like gingerbread cookies. Eat them all the time. Oh, anyway, right now I got to swallow. This is live, folks. This ain't no recording with everything cleaned up. All right, now, let's start. Musicians Ben Mathis and Ken Devine, some years ago, became great fans of the hurdy-gurdy, or what the French call the vielle à roue, although there are some experts who say that a vielle à roue is not exactly the same thing as a hurdy-gurdy, and the musette de cour, which is similar to the bagpipe, and the kind of music you can play with them. And they have cooked up a Christmas concert for you based on 18th century Parisian music. Yes, and it's being live streamed to you free of charge, although they do welcome donations, and we give you the link for making a donation, free of charge by Midtown Concerts, the Gotham Early Music Society's weekly concert. And God bless them for live streaming for those who can't afford to pay more. And if you can, I encourage you to support the Midtown Concerts. All right, these Ben Mathis and Kevin Devine have transformed themselves, though, into a group called Les Bergers. And I can show you a photograph of Les Bergers themselves. And there they are, holding the instruments that they like to play, the musette de cour and the vielle à roue, also known as a bagpipe, although, a bagpipe and a hurdy-gurdy. They also play the harpsichord and bassoon in this concert. They'll be playing 2 Christmas symphonies for winds, strings, and continuo by Michel Corrette. And then they'll be playing a new collection of Noel, which is what the French call Christmas songs put together by Esprit Philippe Chedeville. And these are traditional Noels for the hurdy-gurdy and musette. So altogether, they'll be playing the musette and the bassoon, the hurdy-gurdy, harpsichord, a traverso. They'll also be accompanied by musicians playing 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. It looks like it's going to be a very full early music, 18th century Parisian music concert. How can you beat that? And it's free of charge. Go see it, and then if you can afford it, send something to the Gotham Early Music Society New York to help cover the cost of the artist and doing the live stream and all of that. I recommend it. Next up, Greta Willow and Solana Gothard, also known collectively as the Gothard Sisters, would like you to have a great time enjoying a Celtic Christmas this Friday, the 13th. And they picked a great place to do it, the Icicle Creek Center for the Arts up in Washington State, where they have a terrific chamber music festival every summer. This will be on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 in the evening Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 in the morning in Europe, so a little late, but 2:30 in the afternoon Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Saturday. And we are told that this will be a high-energy weaving together of Christmas carols, Celtic tunes and songs, Irish dancing, and more. And let me put up a photo for you of the Gothard Sisters. There they are in action in 2024. This is a current photo, we are told. They've been performing together for 13 years, so they know what they're doing. They've been touring and composing music. We're told it's very optimistic, very upbeat music. The instruments they'll be playing include the guitar, the violin, the mandolin, the bodhran, the djembe, whistles, the ukulele, percussion, Irish dance, and a partridge in a pear tree. Well, maybe not the partridge in the pear tree, but all the rest, yes. So now this is not free of charge. It comes at a cost. The cost to stream it is $15 US, which is about 14 euros. We give you the link to the site where you can buy your ticket. It's not free, but you know the artists have to make a living too. So if you do go, have a good time. The next group that I want to tell you about is on Saturday. It's the musicians of the Old Post Road doing a concert called Christmas Far and Wide. This group is, you could actually use the word renowned. They have toured in Germany, Austria, and Mexico. They've appeared at festivals like the Indianapolis Early Music Festival, the Boston Early Music Festival, the Castle Hill Festival, the Connecticut Early Music Festival. They have 7 recordings that they've made, which have garnered praise from the experts in early music. When it comes to early music, it's hard to do much better than the musicians of the Old Post Road. They're named after the Old Post Road, which was the first road between New York and Boston in the 1600s, in the 17th century. This will be on Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock on the West Coast, 10 o'clock in the evening in Europe, and 6 in the morning the next day down in Australia. It's not free of charge. We give you the link to where you can go to buy your ticket. It will cost you $35 US or 34 euros. They will be playing 18th century Christmas music or Yuletide music from Ireland, England, France, Germany, Poland, the Czech region, New England, and Mexico. And they'll also be doing some selections from Bach and from Handel. Very traditional, very classic, very international, very high quality. That's the musicians of the Old Post Road, bringing you Christmas far and wide. The next concert that I want to tell you about is with Helicon. And here's a picture of Helicon. If you like bluegrass and folk music, well, then you would like Helicon. They're doing a concert called the Winter Solstice, Bluegrass and Folk Christmas and Beyond, live streamed by the Dumbarton Concerts, Saturday, December 14th, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 in the afternoon on the West Coast, 1:30 in the morning in Europe, and 11:30 a.m. Sunday morning down in Australia. This is an ensemble that plays everything: the hammered dulcimer, fiddle, guitar, cittern, mandolin, piano, wooden flute, whistle, small pipes, banjo, fiddles, and a partridge in a pear tree. I know that joke is growing tired. I've used it too many times and too many live streams already this week. But anyway, this group got started years ago, back with a duo between Chris Norman and Ken Kolodner back in the early 1980s. And it started out purely as folk music, especially Irish musical folk music, as it migrated to the mountains and hills of the American South and Midwest. But it has then evolved from that into basically a world folk ensemble. So if that appeals to you, it's available to you on Saturday. It is not free of charge. It will cost you $14 or 13 euros. It's at Saturday. I think I've given you already the times, and we give you the link to where you go to buy your ticket from Dumbarton Arts, which does a regular series of quality live streams. We have two more concerts that I want to tell you about. If you want to conclude your holiday weekend with just music, well, here is one way to do it. The first of these two concerts is one of them is at 2:30 in the afternoon on the West Coast in the state of Washington. The other one is at 3 in the afternoon, I think, on the West Coast in the state of Washington. The people in the state of Washington love chamber music, choral music of all kinds. It is just booming, and they do a lot of live streaming. So anyway, the Harmonia Chamber Music Orchestra and Chorus, of which you see a picture there right now, at least of the orchestra, they'll be live streaming Handel's Messiah, and that will be followed by the Seattle Girls Choir. Now, the Handel's Messiah, Harmonia has been around for about 30 years now, and they originally started out as a smallish sort of chamber group, but they've grown to where they're now a 70-member orchestra with a 55-voice chorus. So I'm not sure why I'm including them with chamber music, but they originally started out as a chamber group, and they sometimes do chamber music concerts, and I had to fit them in somewhere, and I'd already done the symphonic live stream roundup earlier this week. So anyway, they tell us that their Messiah will be very festive, that it's going to involve dueling harpsichords and vocal theatrics and what they call a maximalist approach. So they say you won't hear a Messiah with such dash and flair anywhere else. That's Saturday, 2:30 in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 in the evening on the East Coast, 11:30 at night in Europe, if you want to find out how they do the Messiah way out west in the United States, or 9:30 in the morning, Sunday morning, down in Australia. And Australians know how they do stuff way out west, but you might want to tune in anyway. It will cost you $25 or 24 euros to tune in. And that will be followed by the last of our concerts for this weekend. The picture you see there is some of the members of the Seattle Girls Choir. It's the Cantamus ensemble of that group. They invite you on Sunday, December 15th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific Coast time, which is 6 o'clock on the East Coast and midnight in Europe, to Tidings of Joy, a festive carol celebration with choir and organ. There'll be some piano and organ solos, and there'll be a sing-along of beloved, typical American Christmas carols. So if you really just want a Christmas concert live stream that you can sing along with and you're going to know all the songs, this is it. After everything else, all this early music stuff and Irish music and Celtic music and 18th century Parisian music that we've also told you about, this is the one for you Americans to just say, hey, how about a Christmas concert? This is it. So I can commend those two concerts to you at the end of your whole week and the end of your Sunday, to just chill out and not be thinking too much or understanding too much or hearing anything terribly sophisticated, just having a good time. So that's what we have for you this week in terms of Christmas-oriented chamber music. I want to remind you, we would love it. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. And the old man's hat, in this case, I'm the old man. Yeah, I know I don't look it, but I am. Never mind. The old man's hat is press the subscribe button or like button and follow us or subscribe to us, especially on YouTube. We would love it, so we can eventually monetize this. We do an enormous amount of work finding all of these live streams, find orchestras, opera houses, ballet, chamber music, contemporary music, early music, all week long. All you have to do is tune into us, click, and go. So that's a good reason to subscribe. An early Merry Christmas or a Glad Advent, as we say here in Stockholm, where I'll be live streaming from through the rest of this year, and then I'll be back in Paris in January. And I hope that one more or any of these live streams uplifts you, inspires you, or just gives you a heck of a good time. Ciao for now. Bye.